what you call
Just
it.
close the door behind you.
It's no door.
Oh, okay. That was-
So this is one of those open air houses. One of them,
No, where I got my desk set up at, right, is basically, let me see, can I?
And Freddie's like every week. This is some bullshit.
I think that he changed positions, but changed rules.
See, have a better, I actually have a better place to do this at, but it's not my office. So,
Okay.
well, with that, we'll say hello to the audience. Welcome to 15 Good Minutes. We usually take 15 good minutes to get Charles's set right. So that's kind of what you guys were part of. We're working it out. We're working on negative space and whatnot. Charles, my man, how are you today?
I'm wonderfully excellent, man. It's a great day to the neighborhood.
Good. LB, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Freddie, how you doing, man?
I'm well. How's everyone doing?
Excellent.
Doing good, man. I got somebody on my feed right now, Freddie, telling me that we owe for whatever for shooting from three. I ain't watching the game right now, so I don't need Carolina people coming at me right now. Listen, I know that the team isn't good right now. I totally get that. But it's funny how all these people have been reaching out to me this year. I ain't heard from them when we was in a championship run. Some dude just said, I've never seen Carolina this small before. Well, watch more Carolina games, man. What do you want me to tell you? I'm here with the crew. This is our last recording for this year, so we're just going to kind of do a year in review, talk about some things, see what's up, see what the fellas got planned for the holidays. Nothing too heavy. So what I want to do really is get a general idea of how you guys' 2024 went, some good stuff that happened for you, and maybe some ideas on what you got going on in 25. So I mean, we only have one person who's always wonderfully excellent. So I'm gonna say that we start with Sir Charles. Charles, what's up, buddy? How was your 2024? And what you got to tell us today, man?
You know what? My 2024 was pretty good. It was really, really good. 2025. One of the things I'm think I want to do more of, which I don't do at all, is vacation. I don't do a lot of vacationing.
Yeah, you say that every year, and then every time we offer you a trip, you don't come. So just you need to move on to item number two.
I said that's my goal for 20. That's my New Year's resolution, right? To do vacation. One of the things my kids have asked me, hey, Dad, want to do a cruise? Come and go, come and do a cruise with us. And I'm thinking about doing that. And just this past time, I went and saw my kids in October. That was the first time that I actually went and saw them. They didn't come see me in over a decade. So and then this Christmas, I'm going to see them for Christmas. I'm going to see them and my grandkids. So and that's normally something that I don't do. So yeah, just trying to change it up a little bit, right? So that's basically my in a nutshell.
Cool.
Copy that. It sounds good, man. I think that's good stuff. I think sometimes we might spend too much time searching for something that you don't have to search for, and it's right there.
Just right there.
go do the thing. And I've said this, Charles, no, I've said this to him before. Sometimes you got to stop, talking about it and just go do it. And it's not always going to be a perfect situation, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I think once you start going, you recognize the benefit of it. I mean, I think we can see that through, LB and Freddie in terms of the way that they travel. And it's a wonderful thing. And I think all of us are what I would say, okay, Freddie, you might not qualify for this, but most of us are what I would say men of a certain age. And I think when you get to a certain age, we're setting an example for young Freddie right now. But, you're supposed to reach this point where you're out there doing some things that you want to do. Having said that, I'm going to pivot to you, LB. How was your 24, brother? And what do you got on tap in 25?
So 24 for me was I call a year of healing and trying to carve out a new path. 23 was a terrible year for me. I lost my wife and my brother in 23. So 24 was a lot of therapy and a lot of figuring out who I am now as a widower, and as I like to say, single man. And figure out what I'm going to do. So for 24, I retired. I I bought myself 2 toys. I bought myself a Corvette and a Genesis. I'm trying to find happiness, and I don't know what that, I'm trying to figure out what that looks like for me.
Yeah.
In 24, I counted it up. I took 14 trips this year.
Wow. Oh, man.
And
so you're
none of
better
them
than one a month.
I haven't did that in
just
a long
about.
time. So
Yeah. The furthest west I went was Vegas. Went to Vegas twice, in Denver. Then I went to Florida like 3 times, and I'm going to Jamaica for New Year's. So that'll end out my my travel for 24. But for 25, I plan to do kind of the same thing, except my trip's going to be abroad now. I'm going to Africa. I'm going to some Europe, do some European trips. I hope to play more golf than I did in 25 than I did in 24. I really didn't play a lot of golf in 24. The other thing I want to do, I want to launch a website for 25. Those are my big bucket things for 25. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And if I can say one more thing to anybody out there listening, if you have the opportunity to retire and your money says you can retire. Because trust me, because once you retire, you're going to say, damn, I should have did this sooner.
And I think I told you, LB, recently, you still haven't met the other Lawrence, but a couple years ago we ended up canceling our golf trip, and I think he was going to be your roommate from Georgia. He retired just recently too. And so Charles, this is Larry, right? And Friday was his last day. I sent a text on Monday saying, "Do you miss me?" And he just started laughing. He's like me saying, "What did I wait for?" Because he just turned 70 this past May. So I can echo that. I got one question for you, LB, though, before I pivot to Freddie. A lot of people don't know, but one of the reasons you didn't play as much golf, I actually like. And if you guys ever go and listen to LB's other show, Golf DMV, he talked about that a lot. About it wasn't necessarily falling out of love with golf, but I like the things that you said about how it just wasn't the thing for you anymore, like it was for, say, Vern. I don't know if it's ever that way truly with Claude, but I know Vern and Matt and those guys, they go heavy. Yeah. And for you to be on a show that is centered around golf, I thought it was really refreshing to have somebody say, it's not my number one thing right now. And I felt like that for a while. Charles knows, for me, if I had to rank them, tennis would always come before golf. I do love playing it, but not like the guys on the show. So I think it's more than you saying I want to play more in 2025. There's a reason. You play so much, you cover it so much, you photograph it so much, you're in the press pool, so you're surrounded by it. And I've always felt like if you do something a lot, at some point, I used to work at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then I went through a phase for a couple of years.
Right.
I couldn't eat no chicken, man.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I appreciate that, man. I think people need to understand that it's okay to pivot away for something. Whether or not you come back, totally up to you. You may fill that void with something else. So good job on you, man. That's good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Freddie, you travel like LB, sort of, kinda. The young stud of the group. What was your 24 like, buddy? And what do you got coming up in 25?
24 was a good year. For 25, I kind of sat back and thought to think about this question, and I did everything that I wanted to do in 24. And so as it comes to, my wife and me, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And whatever. And it's just kind of like, I don't have a desire or want for anything. So I'm at a whole place of peace, if you will. So now, meaning, I won't want anything. If I get something, it's just, okay, I can use this, and it's just more of whatever, right? And so for me, it's really more so looking forward to, in 25, I plan to have my real estate license completed in 25, because as LB was saying, if you get an opportunity to retire, do it. Well, I'm on a 13-year plan to where at 57, I'll be done with the federal government. That is my plan. However, I'm looking at real estate as something that I would do on a part-time aspect. I'd rather get started in it now. So when I get to, that 57 age or whatever, I know and I understand the game and the landscape, if you will. And, obviously start something with residential, but ultimately my goal is to end up in the commercial real estate. And so I'm just excited and looking forward to that phase of my life. But as of right now, I'm just kind of just floating, if you will. I mean, no stresses and try to stay, suffer free as much as possible. But we actually talked about going to LA this past weekend for the Buccaneers Chargers game, but that didn't happen. So then we thought about doing the Cowboys game, Sunday with Tampa. And so then, it was just like, well, I really don't want to go. And mind you, I'm offering the entire month. I don't go back to work until January. We've been off since after Thanksgiving, so I didn't want to go. So we're talking about. I have my brother and sister are coming in this weekend, and then they're leaving out early next weekend. Then my sister-in-law is coming, I think Tuesday or something like that. And then we did, we went out to dinner last night. I have a thing. We went out to dinner last night, and they said, "Hey, are you celebrating an occasion?" Instantly, I said, "Yes, it's my birthday." Right. Well,
we know somebody that do that, don't we, LB?
My birthday is in July.
Right. Well, this guy's birthday is in May, but he uses it 4 times a year. So
but it was just, my wife looked at me like, why you say, well, I'm celebrating life.
There you go.
And so I'm looking at it from that perspective. So we were actually thinking about either going to San Diego or LA for Christmas, for New Year's, right? Or we're gonna do a staycation here. Just get in the car, drive downtown, at a hotel, just kind of get away from home, get away from your 4 walls, and just, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit more tonight over dinner.
Yeah, that's good. Let me quick question for you. Is it when you went to dinner the other night, was that another $600 something bill, or have you gotten past that yet? Or you eat like the regular brothers now? Or are you still up there on that?
Well, I mean, I didn't pay for it. She paid for it. It was at some restaurant called Monarch in downtown Dallas, and it was on the 49th floor. It looked like it was fancy. I mean, I didn't pay for it, and so I just
you saw the prices on the menu, though.
Yeah, you did.
but I will say, I had this drink that they had. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was one of, normally if I go out, I have a Hennessy and Grand Marnier, but I just stepped outside of the box because it was my birthday, and I ordered this, and I actually had I was savoring the drink, and I ended up getting another one, but it was pretty good. They gave you champagne when you walk in, and then obviously there's a desk in the lobby of the hotel. You walk in, hey, where are you going? Okay, it's 49th floor. You want some champagne? Yeah. So then did the valet stuff, and when you getting the valet leaving, they give you champagne when you're leaving. So you want me to get a DUI or whatever?
No, they want you to get a room at the hotel.
But yeah, it was a good time. I didn't pay for it, so
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I got a couple things I wrote down. I think I hear a theme though. I mean, for me, travel is big, and it doesn't have to be big. I do like big, but I aspire to get to where LB is. I'm probably closer to where you are, Freddie. But 2024, I get to do a lot of business travel, which is good. And if it's to a nice place or for a significant amount of time, significant for me means about a week, then D comes with me because, like LB, she's retired too. And so this year, San Diego was fun, Seattle was fun. Now, I'll say this to people in the audience: the reason it works for me or for us is because D is she's a standalone person, and if y'all know her, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like I can go to a town and be at work thinking I'm going to be for 8 hours, it may be for 12. she done booked things and gone. And I mean, from snorkeling to doing stuff. So I don't feel like, oh damn, I got to get back. You know, what I mean, every night we would go to dinner or something, but it's good to have a travel partner who just, you know, she can be on her own, and I don't have to worry about that.
Self-sufficient, yeah.
Yeah, self-sufficient. So that helped. Seattle was fun, although I really wanted to shoot some whales, not like kill them, but with the camera. And the night that we planned that, the captain called it off because of the weather. And so that was my bust because I waited till our last night there to schedule it. So in the future, what I'll do is try to get it earlier because that's still on my bucket list to photograph some whales. One of my biggest trips of the year though was with, you know, a couple of these guys when we went to Myrtle Beach. I just enjoyed the hell out of it. That was a lot of fun, right?
Yes.
We went to Myrtle Beach around Labor Day weekend and just relaxed. I mean, we played golf, and when we played, we tried to do well, but it wasn't all consuming. You know what I mean? It was like every night we was doing something, or you know, Charles finding that breakfast spot, you know, on the last day, or going to our favorite place that we go to at night. It's just the what's the word? The fellowship. You know what I mean?
Camaraderie. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that again, you know, men of a certain age, and we've been going for a long time. So it was good to have LB come back. Rick came. Next year's list is going to be even more. I look forward, you know, to that trip regularly. Started a photo club in 2024. That's been a lot of fun. LB is a part of that. My photography has taken off, and to that point, LB, I just literally last 2 days have been updating the website. So when you're ready to do that, you know, let me know. I have a lot of fun with that, and you know, as a photographer, I do two things principally well. One is models, the second is sports. But in 2024, I spent more time photographing what I call stuff I like, ranging from the whales to eagles and I put a section, you know, on my website now, that basically says me and my camera. So it doesn't put me in a category. It's whatever I feel like, you know, shooting. And that's been a lot of fun too. Just finished my second book. That's coming out pretty soon. That was a lot of fun. Watching, to your point, Charles, the growth of my grandkids. Mine are pretty young, but they're just an awful lot of fun. Doing some YouTube production. I just enjoy that. I like being in here. I like being in the studio. I could be editing all day and for hours. And if I get tired, you know, there's UNC sofa right back here that sleeps really well. I spent many a night in here not bothering nobody. I wake up, it's the next day. So yeah, that's, you know, and then, you know, having the new crew, Charles, you and LB coming in has been fun. I'm glad you guys were able to come in, and that's kind of been my thing for 25. I don't have a lot, Charles. You know, it's more of the same, right? You know, I do a little bit of traveling, hang out with the retiree. She's now taking off in the pickleball world like she did in the golf world. I mean, you know, now she's got, what's this thing called, Charles? Team Up or Meet Up, whatever the app is.
Yeah.
She's got 7 different ones in there now. On a team, playing in competitions. You know, so and again, it kind of speaks to LB's point. I mean, she's really living her best life with retirement. So I can't argue with that. So it doesn't have to be big, whatever it is that we do. I'm talking about us 4 here. But I think what's important is doing what you want to do at this point. You know, a lot of us just spend a whole bunch of time, and y'all in the audience know who you are, taking care of everybody else all the time and letting everybody else drive you. And we don't do that here. We had a conversation about trying our level best to not have any money in the bank when we leave.
Amen. Amen.
I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I mean, that is a plan. My kids know, you know what I'm saying? And we've already taken care of our arrangements. We've paid for everything. So the object is not to leave them wealth and fortune.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to spend all of it as much as I can right now on us, on hanging with you fine gentlemen, on going and just, you know, living life while we can, man. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. The problem with that I read an article that talked about that, you know, you spending your money on yourself and not leaving it to the kids. The problem with it is what I'm going through now, trying to determine what's a smart number is, you know, how much do I, you know, like I figure I'm going to travel for the next 15 years, assuming health, you know, was I can do some really serious travel for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's going to tail off because I'm assuming my health will be in a condition. well, a whole lot of walking and stuff like that's not going to be advantageous for me.
Yep.
So the question then becomes, how much, because you can't spend it all in the first 15 years, but you can spend a lot of it, but not all of it. So you got to figure out at what rate do you spend it? That's whatever that number is. And that's where I'm having a hard time right now trying to figure that out.
I think I don't look at it so much as I do the rate. What I'd say in your case, LB, is if there's something that you want to do, go do it. And when you get to you'll know when you get to the point where walking is a pain or your knees don't give it to you. Like you were talking before we started about the ankle. And when that time comes, that's when I think you have to answer that, because the money will still be there. And he's like, oh, damn, I was spending X amount of thousand a year traveling. I'm not traveling anymore. What am I going to do? But until that time, be like Freddie and eat on the 49th floor, and get a $600 tab, man. I love that stuff, man. I think that's the way to go.
One of the reasons why I bought the Corvette, because I figured the older I get, the harder harder it's going to be to get in it. It's difficult to get into it now, and I'm in pretty good shape.
Let me tell you how many times Charles cries when he tries to get in the Mustang. Too low. Man, get in the car and let's go, man. So he's already at that point.
I definitely love the truck better. So. Hey,
yeah, I mean, I think that's good stuff. I hope everybody takes some time, just, do a little reflection. You know what I mean? At some point, no matter what your age is, you should.
Hey, Russ, I want to ask LB a question about.
You should try to do some stuff.
Doing the photography now. I'm assuming that you convert that when you go out and do the golf, right? With the
LPGA, the PGA.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again. Do I do what with it now?
You do a lot of taking pictures when you go out and do the. I know you're doing
golf. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so. That's it's not that I hadn't thought about it, and Rusty definitely mentioned to me a number of times about basically, hey, you should get into taking more, doing more, photo, because the few times that I have done it, I actually really enjoyed it, and he's actually gave me some pretty good pointers. But honestly, I'm kind of where the D is right now, right? I love pickleball. I play it like 3 days, at least 3 days a week, right?
Yeah, just for the audience, just so you guys know, he blew us off for breakfast over the weekend at a really nice breakfast spot. He said, I'm sorry, I've got an 8 o'clock pickleball match. All right, cool. He still went to breakfast, by the way.
So yeah, I'm totally into pickleball. I love it, right? It's literally it's my alternative to golf, because I can't do golf anymore. I mean, not golf, but tennis. I can't do tennis like I want to anymore. So pickleball is my go-to now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, good stuff. One thing I want to say, one of my big things for 2024, I was really happy for Coach Ward and Largo and those cats, winning the Maryland 2A state title in 2024. Well done. It's extremely hard to do, and I thought they had a hell of a year. Good luck to those guys this year, along with Oxon Hill and Coach Howard, and hopefully those guys do some big things. So before we check out, let me see if the guys got something to say. Charles, I'm starting with you. You got anything to say today?
Well, New Year's coming up. I'm hoping everybody have a wonderful holiday. Next year is going to probably be, not only personally, but probably for the country and even for the world. It's going to be a tough year. Right. And so, but for our own our own mental health, right? Basically, just stay focused and basically, do good for you, your family, and then the people you know and you love.
Yeah. Well done. Freddie, how about you, buddy? You got something to say?
Wishing health, peace, love, and prosperity for the entire world going into 25. Not just for myself or you guys or your family or friends, but for the entire world. So,
well said, man. How about you, LB? Yeah, I'm echo the same thing. Just spend time with family. You don't know when your number's getting called, so or their number's getting called. So just if you have the opportunity to be with your family and friends, take every opportunity to do so.
That's a good point. And for you, LB and Charles, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but our good friend Johnny lost his father in the last week. So if you get a chance, reach out to him. He'd been sick for a while.
Right.
But that kind of speaks to what LB is saying. You know what I mean? And Johnny comes from a culture that family is extremely important, as it should be. So he's kind of going through it right now. So you get a chance, reach out to him, and let him know you're thinking about him. It's interesting. I got something to say, has nothing to do with well wishes and holidays and stuff like that. I would just like to talk about grits for a moment. Listen, Charles, when you missed breakfast with us on the weekend, but we found this new place, new to me, and it's called First Watch.
Right.
If you haven't been, LB,
I've been to one.
Oh, they're really good. You should have told me about this place. Yeah. All they do is breakfast and brunch, right?
Right. I didn't know they had one here. I had only been to them out west.
They do have some up here somewhere. The ones that I went to was down in Richmond, 2 different locations.
Okay.
So what I try to do now is every time I go, I try to get a little something extra. Mm-hmm. Last time I went, I asked for grits, and when I ate them, I never tasted anything like that. And it's like, I've been eating grits all my life, and I must be doing it wrong. The Quaker instant grits is not the thing.
No.
I put nothing in them, Freddie. It was like my face looked like when we went to Biscuitville or wherever the hell it was, and we were in Carolina. It was like you introduced me to something that I'd never had before. So my mission, I need to know how to make those that way. I mean, what am I doing wrong? I'm talking about.
So what was the texture? What was the texture?
Was it creamy?
It reminded me more of like mashed potatoes than it did. You know what I mean? But the flavor didn't taste like what I get. And I guess with instant, you get what you get.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, the last time I had grits like that goes back to when we were active duty, and you know what I mean. And I didn't pay much attention to it then because I ate everything. But damn, these were good. So I got something to say is I'm going to be on a mission. I want to be sampling grits for probably the better part of 2025. I will report back occasionally, and I'm going to try to find a recipe myself while I'm off over the holiday break. I'm going to be experimenting with the Food Network. I'm going to get this. I am going to get this. It needs to be a part of the regular rotation. If you folks have not had good grits, go get some, because I'm going back to First Watch. So.
Yeah, I like grits. I eat them at least a few times a week.
Do you? You make your own?
Yeah, I make my own. Yeah.
So okay, we need to get together offline. You eat them, Freddie?
Yeah. When I lived in Virginia, there was a restaurant right below my building. I forget what it was, the name of the restaurant, but they actually had fried grits, and it looked as when you order it. I think I ordered it with the shrimp and grits, right? They called it shrimp and grits, but the grits it was like in a little triangle shape, and it's fried. It has it looks like it's
like a hash brown type looking.
Yes, it looks like but it's grits on the inside, and it has cheese and stuff we put in grits, and then they have like a cheese sauce, and then they have green onion, and every time I come back to Virginia, I always go there, and I stop by and I speak to the manager. And last time I was there, they took it off the menu. It was one of those things. Oh, it was awesome. This is fried grits. Yeah. So yes, I love grits, but you fall asleep afterwards, though.
Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So. We're wishing everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Safe New Year. We will be back recording the very first week of 2025. Until then, everybody be well. We're out.